Hi, welcome all to the Digital Transformation Consulting. Today we are going to see how to optimize the business and functional costs through analytics. And now uh, there is a problem statement that my company wants to reduce the expenses or uh, the cost optimized for across all the departments, and this is my problem now. How could I achieve it? And I am the digital leader who is going to achieve this, because my income to expense ratio is too high today. So I want to reduce the expense across the organization, and will my data analytics team or the digital team will help me in achieving it. My company wants to optimize the costs across the departments, which is my real problem. And can business analytics help in achieve it, or this business analytics is just a gimmick word used in the digital space, or is it going to really help me? That we are going to see today, and how it can be achieved. So this is my agenda. This is what we are going to see for next 30 minutes. What is cost optimization across the enterprise, and what are the elements comprised of it? When we say cost optimization, people were using the word cost optimization connecting only to the revenue. It is not only to the revenue. It is the better feedback of the systems of the process, and it's the customer value, and the increasing the goodwill of the company, right? So cost optimization is not only tied to the revenue of it, right? So how can we do it, and what are the elements or comprises of it? We will discuss that. And second thing is, how can business analytics enable the cost optimization, and what are the use cases for cost optimizations or analytics? We will see the real-time use cases for a problem. uh, how did business analytics help in increasing the cost optimization? And the next, the key recommendations. First, we look at the um, definition of cost optimization across enterprise. What is cost optimization? Cost optimization is a business focused. When I say cost optimization, it is not cost cutting. It includes both reduction as well as the investment. So the highlighted points, or really which we need to focus on. Cost optimization is a business focused. It's not the employee focused, or it's a business focused continuous discipline. When I say continuous, I'm not going to take the data or cost optimized for 6 months and then leave it, and then look on my business. No, it is a continuous discipline to drive spending and cost reduction. When I say reduction, it is really the cost reduction while maximizing the business value. Maximizing the business value. So I need to maximize. When I reduce the cost, it should not actually reduce the business value. It should maximize the business value. So it is like cost optimization requires the calibration of conflicting constraints. So we just need to highlight what are all the conflicting constraints and measure it and remove those constraints, so that my business is focused, and this will increase the cost optimized across various departments. So for this we need to have the data, right? So we need to have the data, and it has to be categorized in such a way that where can I optimize the cost across the industries. So if you see the left hand side, it is capex and opex. If I have only this category of data, which is a low maturity categorization, with this I cannot do anything. So here uh, we are going to discuss more. I'm just taking an example for a functional department as IT, because it is very well related, and we can easily understand the topics of it, instead of going to the inventory department or supply chain department or HR department. So let's take an IT as an example, and we will travel across. So It's 27% capex and opex. With this, just the category, we cannot do anything. And this, then the second is the next level of refinement of the category. And the third one is how much percentage do we spend on the transformation and the growing and the running. And next one is about our investments. So it's like fear, fact, and faith-based investments. So these are the category. And as going towards the right, it becomes high maturity, where I'm going to see the financial outcomes, where I can categorize the cost across the risk and avoid the cost. So reduce the cost, and how will I protect revenue? So should I have to increase the protection of the revenue, and on 14% on the growth of the revenue? So should I invest more over there, or where should I reduce the cost? Right. So it should be on the other ways. Should I invest or should I reduce, or from where to where I should be putting the cost? So, and the next one is the excellent category of the business functions outcome, where the cost is spent on the marketing, sales support, customer service, production, etc. So here it is very clear, like where to optimize the cost, right? So for example, if I am spending 30 percentage into production, should I increase the production percentage and decrease the cost from somewhere else, is where I need to look at. So for this, we need a continuous dashboard for the directors of the company, or the managing director, to easily take a decision where they can invest and where they can divest the money. So it is not just a one-time activity in a year or a two-time activity in a year. It should be a continuous follow-ups, where I will measure my business value on one side and I can increase my capabilities on the other side. And wherever I am feeling weak, I can increase that, and wherever I feel that I am over investing, I can really remove it from it. So this kind of dashboard should be readily available for the executives to take a decision. And here, so for this, the digital business can only help. So the data, when I say digital, it is just the digitization of data and what is the data that we are coming up. So you see, the digital businessization, where and all it is there, it can get into the supply chain optimization if we have a proper data, and the improved inventory management. We can actually improve the inventory management, where unnecessary threshold values, unnecessary used inventories can be avoided, and continuous improvement. So when I say customer self-service, automatically it comes to the continuous improvement, right? And where and all the process can be automated, robotic process automation can be added to it. So business process outsourcing, if you don't want to develop something in-house, we can actually export it to outside, in order to make the standardized, cost efficient possible. So these are the places where I can improve my cost optimization to it. So there are two frameworks for the cost optimization, right? So let's see the simple first, and then we will look at the complex things second. Okay, so different types of cost optimization involve different parts of the organization and varying IT departments. So now, for this, first we need to have the complete data and costs spent for each thing, and what is the key metrics that I can measure it. For this, the first thing that I can look into cost optimization is the procurement, right? So first level of cost optimization, where will I start? When I say where will I start, it means how do I start? First, start from the procurement. You just forget about the existing things. Let's start from the procurement and find out what and all costs can be optimized during the procurement. Get the best pricing terms and terms for the purchases. Next thing, once after your procurement is standardized and you see that there is a great deal of optimizing the costs. Second thing, you need to look at the functional wise cost. What is the business process across functions and how can I reduce it? And you need to identify the opportunities to reduce the financial costs. Now, we need to look at the joint business and functional savings. We should not look at the isolated functional level. We should look at the joint business and functional cost savings. Where each different functions merge together, we're working as a theme to provide a business value. We need to look at that level. So we need to implement cost savings from the technology side as well as from the business side. And next one is the business restructuring. As a whole, we need to look the business as a whole, not from the silos point of view. So here we can, if we look at the overall business value, we can look at the place where I can improve the process and I can reorganize the whole structure where and all it is possible, and if there are any new methods to produce or for cost optimize the production mechanism or preventive maintenance, where and all the costs can come in. And moreover, this not only applies for the manufacturing industry, it can be applied for any departments across the enterprise and for any domains. Even it can be a banking domain or a financial domain or a healthcare domain. This particular session will be used across any kind of domains, right? So whatever we are discussing is now the simple cost optimization technique. And if you want to deep dive into the complex part, that will be our next slide. So you see the value increases from the bottom to up, and the difficulty also increases from bottom to up. So now we will look at the complex way of cost optimization framework. You see this is a good flow chart where we can see the current state cost driver, and now I am in the first place, whether I can completely remove the cost of a department. For example, let's take an IT department and we will delve into the nitty-gritty and the details of it. It's very easy to understand from an IT department point of view, and this could be applied for other departments also, right? So first, what cost can I eliminate? Can I eliminate some of the cost? For example, if I am maintaining a inventory of around 50 laptops or desktops for my enterprise, can I eliminate it? First thing, yes, we can eliminate it. If there is possibility, yes, you can eliminate the cost from the cost pool, and we need to increase the supply chain so that my inventory cost becomes completely eliminated. And we need to check, if you can't remove anything, if you can't eliminate the cost, the next thing that we can do is the simplification of the existing thing. So when I say simplification, it involves like where and all duplications are there, I can remove it. For example, a single process might cut across the infrastructure team as well as the application team who is owning it. Okay, so it's a duplication of effort where I can simplify all those redundancies. So combine process execution tasks. If there are two things are working in silos, we can combine it and make it as a complete workflow to make the data flow across the departments, which will eliminate most of the productivity time for it. So yes, if there is no elimination way, and if there are if we have made the simplified process, then we need to look at the utilization. We need to look how maximum the utilization is, whether my system can produce the parts for around 250 parts per day. Can I find that whether there is a way to increase that to 300 or 400 per day? And the human value is also getting into it. So if the human is actually, if the human personnel is taking only 60% of his productivity, we need to look at where we can utilize him in something else, so that my increase the average workload across the assets, and find out how the load balance can be done. And next one is standardizing the process. When I say standardizing, we need to see there may be duplicate process across departments which is not required, where when they are working in silos they will not know what exactly they are doing, and they feel that they are doing an excellent job. But when you see it from a holistical point of view, definitely it may not help in achieving those kind of. So we need to place a standardized mechanism of delivering the outcome for this specific value and identify the common performance attribute and make it across. But in order to convince those departments to change the business process, it is a little bit difficult, but anyway we need to do that. And where and all things are decentralized and people are working in silos for the business processes, we need to look at the centralized way of doing it. Instead of having the HR department systems placed in one place and the manufacturing systems in one place and the distribution systems in one place, it means the IT application in one place maintained, it is unnecessary way of things where I can centralize all those data across the data center, or I can move it to cloud. So automation, so where and all we can automate. Okay, so when there is a when an employee is leaving the organization, there are a lot of manual process, and check whether those can be automated by reducing 2 or 3 existing resources and utilizing it in somewhere else, right? So for this we need to know the visualization of the and the sharing of knowledge and how to know how things like that, and then renegotiate. So when I say renegotiate, the cost has to be renegotiated from the buyers, sellers and different sources, where I can consolidate and give it to a single vendor where I could get a better cost, renegotiate with him and find out which is the better way of doing it. So we can even competitively bid for products and service and minimize the costs, which will increase the business value. So this is a complex way of doing it, but if we do this, we need a data. If we do this, definitely it is going to help me a lot. So these are the different ways of looking at the methods to figure out where my cost is unnecessarily spent and where I can eliminate or use the other steps to minimize that cost. And now we have seen what is meant by cost optimization and what are the elements comprises of it. Now we will look at the business analytics, right? So how does it enable the cost optimization, which is a very important thing to deal with. Here, what is my different levels of analytics that I am using? So there is different 5 levels of we have categorized into 5 levels. One is the basic level, opportunistic level, and it moves till the transformation level. So where are we in this? We need to find out. So basic level, when I say it's like a 50-year or a 100-year-old company where the data is not properly digitized, still they were using it in papers, and things are moving very slowly where the data is not exploited, and the data and analytics is managed in different silos in each departments. Analysis is really ad hoc. Sometimes they get pull the data and look at it how things are going on, and things are very transactional in nature. So spreadsheet is the main tool which will be used at this level, right? So you need to think it at which level we are at this stage, and based on that we need to build the data and analytics capability. And second one is the opportunistic where the IT attempts to formalize information availability. On the if the IT getting inside and there is a progress is hampered by this culture for an 100-year-old company, and there are some inconsistent incentives which IT department gets. So strategy is really over 100 pages. It is not business relevant. There is no focus, and the data quality is not good because still it is maintaining in silos. And systematic. So systematic is a little bit matured way of data handling, where you see the different content types are still treated differently. So it is not a complete maturity, even I would say, where the strategy and vision is formed on 5 pages apart from 100 pages, and agile slightly emerges. And when you see the business executives become the DNA champions, at least they are aware and they feel that yes, the data analytics is going to help them. And the next one is the differentiating level, where the executive champions look at the data and they communicate the best practices, and they feel that yes, data and analytics is helping me and I need to invest something on it. And the link to outcome and the data is used for the ROI part. So here the CDO is really acting to get to do something on the data, which will really provide the value to the enterprise business. And next one is the transformation. This is the high maturity state where D&A is central to the business strategy compared to different internal or external vendors, external entities like customers, employees, production, business processes, etc. DNA is the central key for doing it, and CDO sits on board. CDO is one who is driving along with the maturity level of the organization. He provides the key insights to it, and strategy and execution are aligned completely, and it is continuously improved because of the data is continuously projected on the dashboard for the executives. So here the CDO's main task is coming to sit with the executives and find out how they can do based on the outcome of the dashboards. So here again, there is something like the management should not control the IT, and IT should be completely transparent, and they should not mask or do something on the reports in order to make the management favorable. So they should be acting as a separate entity without any influence from the management. And we need to see, like, where is my organization is at which level, and how should I move. If I am in opportunistic stage, we should think like how I can move to the transformational level. And if I am still in the basic stage, I need to definitely, there is a lot of hops that I need to do to come into transformational. Again, moving from one level to another level may take differently 3 months to 6 months down the line, and how rigorous are we imparting the data strategy into it. So I will also provide different ways, just the steps, how to move from different levels to, and what you need to do to move from different one level to another level. So when I see the analytics, I will tell you the steps in the next slide. So this is basically the touch upon the analytics COE. So what is analytics COE? Is it an IT or a business? So I would say it is both. So it is not only, you cannot just move it only to IT and leave it like business and analytics COE are totally different. No, it should actually be with IT and as well as business. When I say IT, it means the data to be digitized and kept in a proper format in order to give the vision to the business to achieve whatever they want, whatever their goals or what their strategy is. And the business outcomes, really it is like an agile, where slowly the agile starts pitching in for the organizations. Things should be in agile, because based on the data coming in, we are going to drive the complete strategies. And once we get to know what it is about the agile responses, the hunger rises with maturity, and the support is going to be ongoing from the data COE point of view. Always we need to start from the required business outcome. What is my goal, and how do I achieve it? So that goal needs to be percolated to different departments, and that needs to be measured continuously. Continuously is the keyword, right? It can't be the like 3 months once or 6 months once. No, it should be continuous. So here I'm going to tell you how to move from different levels, from basic to intermediate and to the other levels. So as a digital team, or as a business analytics team, what they need to do from moving from one level to the transformational level, first they need to look at the first quadrant, like what is new and what is difficult for them to do. So if they are in the basic stage, they need to collect different data sources and process relevant to different kinds of consumptions. They need to mask the data in order to come up with a proper online business. So this requires a consistent effort to figure out how my data model is going to be, and what is the insights that I'm going to get from it. So this is something that we need to do new, and which is a very difficult thing for the data analyst or the data business has to get into. So the next step is we need to see, like, it's new and very easy. So once my data modeling is ready across the enterprise, then the next thing I need to do, figure out how should I feed in the ongoing records. Should I need a UI, or should it be a mobile development, or whatever it is? So how should I capture the data, and how does it add on to it? And the third one is how familiar. These are all familiar and easy things. So support business and IT leaders with analytics and visualization tools, actually, which meets their needs. This is a very easy task once the data scientist gets into it, and when he gives the visualization. Usually we do it in 6 months or 1 year once. Here, once the visualization tools and analytics are available, it is easy for the management to pick out, and the huge amount of kudos and credit comes to the data analytics team, and they were very happy where they have not seen this data before. Okay, so the insights whatever was provided was really new, and it is giving them the complete energy to drive into with complete confidence. And the during the transformational stage, we get into, once the ideas and the data is clear and my dashboard is clear and I'm confident in what I am now, I will be taking my next responses. Here during this stage it is familiar, but it is a difficult thing. There is a politics of losing budget of one department to other department. Generally, people starts thinking, this data is incorrect, my data is only correct. See, because when people are working in silos, their data, they will mask their data based on their value proposition. But when you see from an enterprise level of view, the data is totally wrong, right? So they feel that there is an uncertainty of data, and we need to drive the culture of fact-based decision making. And we need to integrate this with operational systems and add data science for complex optimization to provide more insights for the business, and get into a value where uh, so my strategy is going to just beat the competitor, and make my increase my market share increase to 30 percentage. What should I do? What are the um, steps that I should take, or what are the decisions that I should take based on the visual analytics, or which is presented to me. Now once after getting this visualization with transparency, what are the things that I should do in order to pull the levers? So after getting the clear picture and the decisions that this is what I want to do, what should I do in the first step? The first step is to identify the top spender. So if you say it's a manufacturing, where it's clearly, like 70 percentage of the business function ownership associated with the applications, and I'm just taking an example of the IT, which is like what is the total cost associated, and why I am spending so much cost in this area. Unless I have a proper um, visualization support data, I cannot take this or inform the certain specific department to question them, and why it is a top spending thing for this particular. So what functionality is driving to spend more on this particular department, and why? Do you still anticipate more in quarter after quarter? Should we investigate the alternative models to increase time in the market? Why am I spending more over here? So do we have duplicate functionality, and is it justified that yes, it is a duplicate functionality, and how we can get into reduce this? So identify the culprits, identify the top spenders, critical business culprit functionality which is taking more money but it is not producing any value out of it. The first thing is you need to figure out where the my top spender is, and second one is the high usage. So uh, human resources has the higher intensity of spending for new products and services. They will be completely keen in picking up new products and services which might not increase the value, but they want to try something new and show to the management or showcase to the management that we have introduced all these things but it is not creating. But at the end of the day, what is the value or does it create, and what is the revenue that it brought into? So we need to figure out where this high usage and efforts is getting into, figure out what exactly it is where it is getting used, and what is driving the intensity of spending for this area, and how will demand impact the security. Is it our risk profile changing, and what is my high investment on it? Year over year growth has been high, will it continue, and what it is driving this? Should I have to reduce the cost over it? Yes, if it is very mandatory, we cannot stop it. But if it is really high usage where the effort can be spent in something else and it is not creating any business value, we need to identify with a parameter using the better visualization tools. And third one is the spare capacity, where here all the resources are underutilized. We need to find out the unit cost efficiency for really for example, we have bought a storage, a petabyte of storage, where we are storing only the MB and GBs of data. Should we really get into a petabyte of storage? What is driving this excess amount of unassigned capacity? Okay, one side in topic 2 where we see the high usage, and in topic 3 we see there is a spare capacity where it is not utilized. So find out whether these two could be balanced, and what tires are more utilized, and what are all underutilized, and find whether you can combine any business process, or you can combine them, combine the resources together and get better out of it. So this visualization will provide you what exactly you need to know, the levers to pull which will optimize the cost. And getting into the analytics for the cost optimization, what is analytics, what really I'm going to get out of it. So first thing, with this we already discussed about, there are 4 layers from low to high, where first thing I will look at the procurement, and second one is the cost savings within functions, joint business and functional, and business restructuring. So what is data actually? What is it, what is in this data analytics, what will I do? When you see, the first thing is the descriptive. There are different types of way to do an analytics exercise, and the first one is really the which gives the total source, one truth source, where the data is being confidently and visually provided to the business in order to pull out the levers. So there are different ways of analytics, which is like a descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. So when I say descriptive, uh, that data, the raw data or the insights will tell what exactly happened so far, right? With my enterprise business, what exactly happened so far. If I do this exercise for 6 months or 1 year, definitely that is not going to pull me the levers, or it is not going to show me the continuous dashboard. Take for example, it is like driving a car, and you have a GPS in front of it which says that you will be reaching this destination in 15 minutes, in 12 minutes, and is there any traffic over the site. So it is like a dashboard, like how you get in Google GPS. So this is descriptive. It will tell exactly what happened for my enterprise for so long that I am investing my time, and why did it happen. And with the diagnostic insights, it will tell you why did it happen, and where my cost and value was spent unnecessarily. And based on this learning, the next will be the predictive analytics. It will tell what will happen if I go in the same way, and that is the predictive analytics. And now the prescriptive will tell what exactly should I do in order to come up which will make my decisions better, and I will achieve whatever is defined as the organization strategies. Where the decision support and the decision automation is going to help me in achieve this. So we should have a continuous dashboards for which is coming through data insights for the executives to pick up, and things will move to agile. The value delivered will measured in 2 weeks. It will not be measured in 3 months or 6 months once. It is completely agile, and we will know where exactly we are going to travel. And now let's see some of the use cases for cost optimization and analytics, which are the real use cases where the business analytics is spent and the value is increased. So this is the manufacturer's IT department. Initially the manufacturing team was really thinking this IT as a cost center, where it is going to be completely expense, and it is not going to help me a lot. But when it is verified to the business, that IT department is cost competitive compared with external suppliers, and this particular manufacturers has found out that this after analytics, after doing all the analytics and parameters, why did the statement from the manufacturing said that the IT is spending more? So after doing a proper insights, the manufacturing department themselves agreed that yes, we are paying more something because we are using more something, and which it is also cost competitive compared with the external suppliers, and my internal IT team will be the complete partner to my manufacturing team. And yes, based on the data what was projected to them, yes, they agreed that yes, this is going to help me a lot, this team is going to help me a lot. And then IT has become the strategic partner to the business, not just a tactical supplier, and this is where it helped for the manufacturing industry. Now let's look in the second use case, how cost optimization and analytics improved the voice of the customer. So manufacturing team were working in silos without hearing the feedback from the customer. So it's like a grocery company. This use case is for a grocery company where after understanding the voice of the customer and through analytics they found out yes, they can launch the product very easily, and what are all the supplement products they could also produce and sell it across, where it will improve the market value and the revenue, as well as the backward integration of their products. So they analyze the data from Twitter, through the call center speeches, and get it from the Facebook, and with the direct discussion with the customers, and get all the data, put it into, and they really found out exactly the analytics, the data insights what they got is totally different from what they perceive before. And now let's look at the third use case, cost optimization analytics, employee flight risk for HR. So in this department they have a problem that in this the employees are leaving the organization too often. So who is at the risk of leaving on the next quarters? So so this is my problem, and I need to find out where exactly my senior or the middle level people are going to leave. So for this the analytics also helped, where they collected the different parameters from the employees, and where they found out they have a limited career opportunities, and they found out is low compensation, and there is no recognition for the fit, and it's a bad cultural fit for the employees working over there, and there are certain managerial issues and personal life circumstances because the company is placed in a very remote area. So it is not only just collecting the data, but while doing analytics only we will come to know which will not be really visible to the human naked eye. But when you do some kind of prescriptive or predictive analytics, it will tell the complete insight based on the machine learning and things like that, and will project it to them. Okay, based on the confidence level that we set. So now I found out, yes, these are the people who are at the risk of leaving the company. So do we care, and why and when they will leave, and I need to increase the learning opportunity in the pay increase, and I should give the change in role. What could we do to retain them? All these questions are answered in this insights using the prescriptive analytics. Are they likely to want to leave again soon? Really would we succeed, and whether the unhappy employee, how much of them can convert it to the satisfied employee, whether it is 30% or 70%. Even after 2 months of data we can get all these insights and see whether we have improved. So this should be a continuous monitoring of the data, right? So this is the third use case where the analytics has helped a lot for the people. And the fourth use case is the preventive maintenance, where I have the data which gives me the exact scenarios, what happened before and why did it happen before, and using predictive analytics I will find out based on the previous data what will happen and what should I do using prescriptive analytics. So using this I need to perform the action, and I need to measure in 2 weeks, because my company is getting into an agile mode and my data analytics is in the complete transformational maturity level. And when I see, my action will be again measured again, and again the decisions are taken. So it's a continuous process, right? So in this preventive maintenance, there is, I have given the sample questions and use cases, and which will be easily answered by the analytics team. What is the optimal preventive maintenance schedule across assets to optimize asset life and to increase the profit and to minimize the downtime? And what are the so these are the predictive outcome of it. And how should equipment be automatically controlled to optimize, right? I need to get the data from it. So what the tools and technology which help me is the event processing, the sensor integrations and IoT, and the mathematical models like linear programming, mixed integer programming, and so on. And and I could take a decision analysis based on the influence diagrams and figure out where exactly I could improve and what are the different steps that I should take. So this is something like which we will have a complete ideas on the use cases really where the data analytics has helped a lot. So we have discussed what is cost optimization and what are the elements comprise it, and how can a business analytics enable the cost optimization, and we have seen the use cases, real-time use cases where it had improved a lot, and where the data analytics team becomes the partner for the manufacturing team or for the senior executives, where it is giving the complete insights. And now the key recommendations. So CIOs, these recommendations are for both the management as well as for the CDOs. So as for CIOs, bring the analytic team into the cost optimization products, or otherwise you will lose the the predictive analytics. What is my team doing? What is my products are really selling, and what is the voice of the customer? And for analytics teams, ensure that you are in room for the cost optimization discussions. For all cost optimization discussions, you should be a part of it, nor leave any data to it. So apply data analytics best practices. For this, what you should do: focus on the business needs. Okay, start small. Don't do a big thing. Starting over 6 to 1 year project, and it is not going to help you. Start very small, make things agile, and deliver few insights in 2 to 3 weeks. First, keep project narrow and focus only on the ROI, which will capture the eyes of the senior management. And then monitor the initial state in order to demonstrate the post analytics. So you should give the feedback once after my analytics is done, and what decision was made, and how does that action is transforming to the post analytics improvements. See, without showing the post analytic improvements, the management will not be happy to invest more in analytics, because you should show some value where the analytics has improved it. And apply optimization principles also to other business units. So it's like a slow move. Push for ongoing process. This is like an ongoing process, and the roll the snowball across all the enterprise, and the total enterprise should be data centric. Yep, and this is the time where we have come to the end, and we have seen how the data analytics team has improved, has provided insights for the enterprise to better cost optimize, and create better value for the company, and provide the complete insights where we are using predictive, prescriptive models. So without analytics and the continuous monitoring, the enterprise is very difficult in the roadmap. If I am a 100-year-old company, if I follow the same strategy before, then definitely it is not going to help me, because all the companies models were changed, going so, and it is totally competitive for the companies to capture the market, right? So start using the analytics COE as part, a centralized part of your enterprise. Start doing small and roll it up, and you see definitely the values coming up for it. Thank you all for spending time with me. Thank you.